Daily Devotion with Pastor Balla for February 13th, 2025. Trusting God with Tomorrow. From James chapter 4, verse 13. Come now, you who say today or tomorrow, we will go into such and such a town and spend a year there and trade and make a profit. We live in a world that thrives on planning. From businesses, strategies, to family vacations, we often map out our futures with great precision. There is wisdom in preparing for what lies ahead, but James reminds us of an important truth. We are not in control. James addresses those who speak confidently about their plans, as if they have full authority over what tomorrow will bring. The problem is not in planning itself, but in the attitude of self-reliance that forgets God's sovereignty. When we assume that our plans will unfold exactly as we envision them, we are in danger of placing our trust in our own abilities rather than God's will. So, this passage challenges us to consider our perspective of the future. Do we acknowledge that our lives are in God's hands? Or do we push forward as if we hold all the answers? James does not discourage responsible planning, but he does call us to humility. Instead of boasting in our ability to secure success, we should seek the Lord's guidance and trust in His divine purpose. Jesus also spoke about the uncertainty of life. In Luke chapter 12, Jesus tells the parable about the rich fool who stored up earthly wealth, assuming he had years ahead to enjoy it. But God said to him, "Fool, this night your soul is required of you." The man's plans were meaningless because he left God out of them. In the same way, James reminds us that our lives are but a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes. But what does this mean for us? It means that we should hold our plans loosely and submit them to God. Instead of saying, "This is what I will do," we should say, "If the Lord wills, we will do this or that." Recognizing God's authority over the future is an act of faith. It does not mean we sit back passively, but rather that we move forward with a heart that trusts in His perfect wisdom. So as you think about your plans for today, tomorrow, or the years ahead, consider whether they align with God's will. Have you sought out His direction? Have you placed your confidence in His purposes rather than your own? Let this passage serve as a reminder to approach each day with faith, humility, and dependence on the Lord. God's peace and many blessings be with you. And thank you for listening. And please take an opportunity to share this message with others.